Hi, I'm Scrapping Amy with One Mommy Scrapping, where I'm planning for happy memories. Today we're taking all of those prior lessons talking about digital supplies and actually using them to create a layout. So let's get started. Before we actually get started with speeding up Amy and narrating this, I wanted to talk really quickly about some of the supplies that I'm using. I'm using the Life is Beautiful digital kit from Cocoa Vanilla. Those are these three papers. And all of these embellishments are also from there. This is from the I think it's Shimelle's Go Now Go. I think that's the one that this yellow paper is from. If you'll notice, this one doesn't have a border and these do. I can't remember if I had figured out how to do borderless printing at the point when I put up the video where we talked about actually printing things. I have now. My printer needs a carrier sheet. It will not print borderless 12 by 12, which is why anytime I just print directly 12 by 12 here. But I have a piece of paper now that's 13 by 19, which is their super tabloid size. And I know where to place my blank cardstock on that to send it through so everything's sized correctly. I'm also going to be using these tile letter stickers from Nicole Jones. Remember, if you use the code Moira, Moira, then you get, I think it's 10% off. I'm going to mix in some of these thickers as well. And I have Nuvo drops. Well, you can't see those. Nuvo drops. And for the embellishments, I've done a couple things that I talked about in the other like adding pizzazz to your embellishments. One is using stickles. Now in this case, I know it's a little harder to see, but the centers here and on here, these are distress stickles. I have those from way back when, and I thought color wise they really did a nice job of matching. I've also taken, like on these butterflies, I put some distress stickles there, and in addition for the butterflies, I've also started pulling out embossing powders. I was like, I had the idea for it with the hearts. I was like, it would be really neat if I could like dip the hearts like halfway. So I would pat the little the embossing ink pad, and then I would toss some of this stuff on. And so I've got these all my hearts now have different color embossing powders on it. It was really nice. This dark blue was a little darker than I thought it was going to be, but that's okay. I'm all good with that. Another thing I did was to use, let me see, there are embossing pens by Distress, and they have two different tips. They have a very small bullet tip, and then they also have a larger brush tip. And those I either use, like for instance, let's see, you see better on this one. I use the bullet tip to just go down the center, so put the yellow embossing powder on that. And then this one I did down the center, but then I used the brush tip to kind of do like little flicks out to the sides, similar to what I did with this blue one, which probably would have been a good one to show you anyways to start with, instead of the one that didn't show up very much, because you know that's how I am. All right, so I think that's everything. If it's not, I am sure Editing Amy will be more than happy to tell you about other stuff. Oh wait, here we go. One more thing. Glossy Accents. I did use Glossy Accents. So I can't really see it. Of course, it's not catching light, but on the lens of that camera, just to add a little bit something more. Oh, and I did use Glossy Accents on any of the flowers that have the little tiny circular like berry branches. I put them on there. So let's speed this up and create a layout. Well, newsflash for past Amy when she was filming this. I actually did remember to put everything in there, and I ended up not using the glossy accents. Regardless of how it sounded on the video, it is glossy, like a shiny gloss with an O, not an A. I kept sounding like glassy accents, and I'm like, that's not what I'm trying to say. So these photos were 4x6. I trimmed them down to 4x4.5, I think it was, and decided to use the peach and the orange to cut the matting layers for the photos. I am using the Distress, almost said oxides, the Distress inks in chipped sapphire, because that is a nice dark blue. I really liked the dark blue that's in this collection. I think it's a really nice complement, but I did not have a lot of it printed off. And my goal with the digital things is to print out what I'm going to use. I do not want to just print out and store a bunch of stuff. So for these 4 printed papers, I wanted to make sure I actually used all 4 printed papers and decided I was not going to print out any of the pretty navy ones. So more inking. That strip is 5 inches wide by 11.5 inches tall. I decided to put this one photo where she's standing in front of the soccer goal on pop it up on foam just to give it a little bit more. I keep going back and forth with the title. The title I'd already decided was Kick the Ball, or Kick That Ball, with an exclamation point. And I was like, am I spelling it forwards? Am I spelling it backwards? I wanted it to be on the yellow, but then I had that weird little gap between the B and the rest of that triangle paper. That is one thing that is a little bit of a con for the printed papers, is that when I peel things up, because it's just printed, it tends to take off the top row color. So that's something to think about if you are like me and you end up moving things a lot. Like, I wouldn't do this and then like turn the arrows to the side, because if I had to peel it up, it would end up, I would put paper back down and it would not always be covering the part I ripped up by accident or by mistake. All right, I was actually really surprised how quickly this layout ended up coming together, because I already had all of my embellishments pulled. I already were familiar with them because they're ones that I just cut out. They're ones that I had played around with and added the little bits of the distress stickles and embossing powder. So it wasn't like, oh, do I have this? Oh, do I have that? I can't remember if I said this or not, but that camera that I put the Glossy Accents, Glossy with an O, I never even used, which kind of annoyed me because I really did like it. I am kind of trying to just fit things in. I end up with 2 of the clusters having kind of a ticket base, so that I guess it's supposed to be a 3x4 card. I don't know what size I printed it out at. It's a good day. Up by the title, I put a little blue ticket there, and then there's a peachy pink orange one down at the bottom left of the photo. I really, really liked this pennant banner, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to use it. I had wanted to use it up at the top near the title, but then when I put my title vertically like that, I was like, oh, that's not really gonna work. So ended up switching it back down to the bottom and just putting little tiny pieces of foam under each of the different pennants, just to kind of get them to hold up. Now, I wanted to tell you quickly what embossing powders I ended up using. I say a lot right now. Pink Popsicle is the pink one, and I ended up not using any of the embellishments that I put Pink Popsicle on because it ended up being so much brighter. That gorgeous dark blue, oh my goodness, I am in love with that blue. It is Duchess blue. All of my embossing powders for this layout are from Nuvo. I used the yellow, which is Golden Sunflower, Pearl Luster, which I think was Trend 3 last year for 2020. Has a nice little bit of glitter in it. And then I also have, where's the title? Snow Crystal, which was Trend 2 of last year, and it also has some glitter. So putting in the little bits with the glitter I find really fun to do, because it shows up when you're heating it. All of a sudden it goes from plain to just like sparkly. And it's a mix of plain embossing powder with some glitter in it, so it's not all glitter like some of the other ones I have. I really do think I will be using some more embossing powders. I'm looking at what I had, and I'm going, oh, I need a color like this. Oh, I need a color like that. And I was like, oh, there's actually, something I could see myself doing, not just on digital elements that I print and want to keep using the word, but bring that little bit of pizzazz to it, but also embellishments that I already have and that are, ones that come with collections. Why can't I go ahead and put stickles on things and jewel drops and all of that? So the jewel drops I end up using in a moment. I pulled 5. I only used 3 of them. By the time I get everything done, the teal one that I pulled which is called Aqua Plains, and then the orange one that I pulled, which is Orange Marmalade. I decided those two really weren't going to quite go as well with it. I'm trying to stick that little butterfly thing in there. It's not going to work. So I decided, you know what, that's fine. I'm just going to stick with these three. It's still an odd number, so it works for me. I end up using Peach Sorbet, Limoncello, and then the dark blue one is called Steel Blue. I originally didn't pull the Steel Blue one or the orange one, and I went back and grabbed the orange, and I was like, oh wait, I do want a dark blue. So I was really, really happy with how well that dark blue went over. So my close-up shots are coming up. I would love if you would like and leave a comment. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please join and subscribe. Hit the bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video or go live. And I think that's it. So have you used any digital elements for your layouts? Let me know down below. And I hope you guys all have a lovely day. Bye.